Yeah,
I'll unmute him. Hold
got
on.
him. I got him.
Yeah,
I got
okay.
Smiles, you got a mic check?
Yeah, I think I'm here.
Okay. Go ahead.
I don't know. Someone told me to come down here.
Right. You guys were having a discussion. I think you and Reasons were having a on a topic about missiles.
Well, not missiles per se, but symbology.
Well, yeah.
Symbology.
Wanted to see if you could bring that conversation into this chat room. So, what were you guys talking about specifically?
Somebody asked me why I was convinced that the Earth is round, and I said I used to work on F-16s as an engineer, writing software for fire control computer. And when we do the calculations for how to display symbology on the heads-up display, if we were to use flat Earth calculations, the symbology would not appear correctly over the target.
That's too vague.
Flat Earth calculations are easy. We used to use them for short distance stuff just to save processing power, but we had more processing power, so we migrated.
All right, let's take this to the woodshed real quick. I'm not an F-16 engineer, F-16 pilot. I'm going to use the Evolved Sea Sparrow missile. I want you to go to 3 minutes after the hour. And Flat Earth Arena text, we'll wait for you to get there.
Do what?
3 minutes. 3 minutes in Flat Earth Arena text, you're in the voice channel. There is a text channel associated with this. At 3 minutes after the hour, I posted the Evolved Sea Sparrow missile. It'll take you to my website.
Okay.
Let us know when you get there. Miggy, I could share my screen, but maybe we could try it, but I'm thinking that it might throw up on the voice, but I'll try it. Oh,
It's not active right now. Yeah, it's not active.
It's not active, so there you go. Yeah.
Well, it's weird. Well, it was. I don't know. We're still at 29 members. So.
Indio, can you work your magic on that?
What magic is that?
Release the screen share.
Oh yeah. Okay, hold on.
All right.
Moron in green text is saying light is a wave.
We can't get to that for right now.
Yeah. I know.
We can get there next if you'd like.
No, I'm gonna have Dr. Becky debunk him. So we want video.
Silly, did you get to the website? All right.
Yeah, we'll click it on random websites.
I'll tell you what, just go up to Quantum Eraser.
You work in
Live.
computers and you think some website's going to do something to you? Seriously? Come on, man. That's some fake ass shit, dude.
No, it's a real thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's real. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right. Okay. So if you click on my link or QE Live, whatever up there, it's going to take you to this. Does everyone see this? Mickey, can you project this?
Yeah, 1 second. I gotta get on my other computer and do that.
Yep. Let me know when it's a go.
Right,
Yeah, if you just click on his stream, you can just watch his stream, can't you?
Yeah, but this is
Don't
the
wanna
live
go on the
stream.
website. If you want to go on the website, just go on the live stream. It's only a fucking website, mate. It's not going to kill your computer. But if you could go to
You're hang on, Reasons. You're live, QE.
We're good. You have it up?
Yeah, you're good.
Sounds good.
Must be using Internet Explorer.
I'm using Chrome.
No, I'm talking about the guy that's scared to go to your website.
Oh, yeah.
I'm watching it.
There's no viruses. So you're watching it inside. You see this? You see this Battle Swan?
Yeah, I see it.
We should go to the Black Swan and then just kill it quick. But I haven't been on this proof for a while, and I really enjoy it. So we'll go here. So this is the Evolved Sea Sparrow missile, Block 1, right? The general characteristics, the primary function is surface to air and surface to surface radar guided missile.
Nice.
All right. So this bistatic semi-active seeker in the nose of the missile receives a reflected signal from a target that is being illuminated with an RF signal transmitted from a fire control radar on a standoff platform. In this case, it's on a ship. Such systems require that the platform maintain line of sight to the target until it is gauged by the missile. Ship-based Standard Missile SS, NATO Sea Sparrow, AAW missiles are examples of such semi-active mode. NATO Sea Sparrow requires a constant signal for foaming. The range right here is more than 35 miles. It can't. This is the minimum. They can't say it's because it's classified, but that's all I need is 35. Any questions up to this point?
By their math, wouldn't there be curvature in 35 miles?
We'll get there.
All right.
This is Sea Sparrow picture of it right here. Although it's altered a little bit.
Yeah, so
up
that's
this fairy tale globe.
same as the concept where we used to laser sight targets for them, and they come in and drop their missiles. It's all in one. As
All right,
moves.
we good up to this point?
I'm good. Go ahead.
All right. The target is illuminated with 2-degree RF pencil beam, which has to be maintained, painted on the target until detonation. Any more than generous 50 feet elevation above sea level, this is the key. It's not the missile. It's the target illumination radar height. The target should be hidden behind 463 feet of curvature. What I'm talking about, you see these right here? You see where my mouse is going over? See this?
Yep.
These are the target illumination radars. Doesn't have the missile could be up on top of the ship. Doesn't matter. My concern and our concern is these guys right here. Target illumination radar.
Laser targeting. Yep.
Like I said, the target is hidden behind 463 feet of curvature. So my question is, please explain how you can have line of sight 35 miles away. That's minimum. On a spinning ball by showing how a 2-degree RF pencil beam can penetrate 463 feet. That's 141 meters of target hidden height through a wall of water 26 miles in length. Like I said, the 35 miles is low balling. The official max effective range.
How high is the radar?
I said I gave you 50 feet.
Oh, gotcha.
Right here. So either the evolved Sea Sparrow missile ESSM Block 1 exists or the spinning ball religion exists. Both can't be true.
Yeah. So I got a question for our viewers.
Hold on a second. I'm not done yet, Mike.
All right.
So, more or less a summary. The range of the evolved Sea Sparrow missile Block 1 is 50 kilometers. Actually, it's much further. It's classified. The target must be illuminated by the RF pencil beam via a target illumination radar on the launch ship.
Where'd you get this information?
I'm going to tell you right here. Weapon system to engage, ergo it must have line of sight. Number 3, the target illumination radar and the ESSM Block 1 must be on, like I said, on the launch ship. We'll get to that here in a second. Number 4, surface targets, ships, sea skimmers is its main target. So essentially, it's surface because sea skimmers fly about 10 to 30 feet above the deck. So we can treat it as a surface target. The horizon at 50 feet elevation, according to the curve calculators, is 8.65 miles. Ergo, the limit of line of sight on a sphere is 8.65 miles at that elevation. If the ESSM Block 1 can engage surface targets from ship at anything greater than 8.65 miles, that's 13.9 kilometers, and it most assuredly can, then the Earth must be flat. I put it on modus tollens. We want to go through it? Yeah, let's go through it. If P, then Q, not Q, therefore not P. If the Earth is a sphere with a radius of 39.59 miles P, then illuminating surface targets, including sea skimmers, with an RF pencil beam would be limited to 8.65 miles Q, not Q. Surface targets are illuminated, then engage at distance greater than 4 times that limit. Therefore, not P. The Earth is not a sphere. Prosecution rests. Okay, here we go. You asked, where'd you get that information? because the baller rebuttal, but the missile and the target illumination radar don't have to be on the same ship. Wrong-o-rama. From Raytheon, who makes the missile. Unlike the RIM-7 Sea Sparrow missile and the ESSM Block 1, Block 2 active seeker will support terminal engagement without the launch ship target illumination radars. That means the Block 1, the target illumination radars have to be on the launch ship. Follow that?
You already answered my question, bro, so we can just keep going.
So, like I said, the summary, that means the RIM-7 Sea Sparrow and the ESSM Block 1 must have the target illumination radars on the launch ship. The ESM Block 2, that's the new one, doesn't need the launch ship's target illumination radar on the ship, but the Block 2 ESSM isn't going to be ready until this year. Another source from the government. The Evolved Sea Sparrow Missile Block 2, an improved by multiple cruise missiles at low altitude, as well as adversary jamming and radar deception, will be fielded in 2020. So this year. So please tell me how the ESSM Block 1 has been engaging surface-based targets, sea skimmers, and surface targets at more than 50 kilometers with the target illumination radars on launch ships for the past 15 years.
Did you see them do it? Have you ever seen them launch?
Don't need it. Yeah, well, yeah, I got a block of instruction by a ESSM Block 1 instructor, naval instructor.
So you've seen it work?
I haven't seen it. I'm not a squid. I'm Army guy. Don't need to see it. It's in the documentation.
Okay. Seems kind of, I'd like to see the information from a more unbiased source.
Unbiased. I got the government. I got Raytheon. Boy, they're really biased. I guess they're all flat earthers. And I got the Naval Technologies Project and Naval Military Navy Data Fact Sheet, Navy.mil. So I don't, you think they're biased?
Well, there can be errors in documentation as well.
There can be, but there's no error here, especially with him. You know what? That's just a sidebar. Let me take this off. Let's go. Hold on a second. Go ahead, Mike, if you have any questions.
Well, the military is the most thorough documentation you can get. The devil's in the details, and the main. That's what you'll hear the most in the military. Pay attention to detail.
Yeah. When they say 35, nautical miles or whatever, they may not necessarily.
No, it's not nautical miles. Did he say nautical miles?
I don't remember. It's Navy. I would assume nautical miles.
He didn't say nautical miles because targeting isn't calculated in nautical miles. Actually,
I don't know how the Navy targets.
I want to go to the question he asked QE. Did you see it? So have you seen the curve of the Earth?
Hold on a second. I don't want to go there just yet.
All right.
So I want to, like I said, I went to the Sea Sparrow. Like I said, you can look at the documentation. That's fine. I don't really give a shit because I got the Black Swan. Are you familiar with the Black Swan argument?
Nope.
Have you ever heard it before?
Nope.
All right. Are you seeing this right here? This is the original video?
Yeah, I'm saying some kind of oil rig or something. I don't know.
Okay. The observer height here is 1 foot. Got it? This is the original video. I'm going to get you a stop photo here in a second. Here's the argument. Modus tollens again. If P, then Q, not Q, therefore not P. If the Earth is a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles P, then every horizon distance measurement must be no more than 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet Q. Not Q. The horizon distance is greater than 9.41 miles, therefore not P. The Earth is not a sphere. Is there any problems with this argument that you can see? I can't highlight it. Okay.
Well, I'm not sure what the video, where it's shot from and how you're sure of those distances.
Yes, I have the original video on my channel, and I've played this quite a number of times. He's 1 foot observer height. Everyone knows this. It's not in contention.
You can also go onto Google Maps. You can check that the oil rig's 10 miles out to see. You can actually use the measurement on Google Maps. You can find out how far that oil rig is in the sea from that observer position. You can actually draw across the ocean yourself.
Let's do it for him because I want to be thorough. So I'll do it for you. 1 second. We'll go ahead and look at the original video. Give me a moment. You seeing this?
I'm not sure. Keep getting cut out.
Is it cutting out?
How tall are they?
Don't worry about it. Are you seeing this?
No, what we're seeing is the video itself halfway cut off. We're seeing the bottom of your
Oh,
screen.
really? How about
Yeah.
this? What if I do that?
No, I think you have the website over it.
Hold on a second. Let me stop.
You got to switch tabs.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. Let me stop.
I mean, if the platforms
Hold on
are
a second.
falling out,
Just
you'll
hold
see
on.
it above the horizon.
Just hold on. How about now?
There we go.
You good?
Yeah, I see things now. A map.
All right. This is Santa Barbara right here. Just sit back and enjoy.
But back to what you're arguing.
Hold on a second.
How tall
I don't want you to talk during this. I'll point out certain specifics. Then you can just write them down. I'm not gonna bombard you with a whole bunch of information and try to get you sideways. We can go back. He'll get to it. It's only a couple minutes, don't worry. All right, here you go. So that's platform habitat. That's the furthest platform away from him. Platform Hill House, closest platform. His position. He's going to give you the distance. First platform, 6.21 miles. Second platform, 9.41 miles. There's all the pedigree information. We don't need that much of that. If we need to, we'll go back. This is not the 1 foot observer height. Don't worry about it. This is 35 feet. Don't worry about this. Okay, here comes the rub. He's going to show you the camera height. Pay close attention. Any problems with the camera height right there?
No, it's pretty obvious.
Continue. There she is. There she is. That is the Black Swan photo. You have Platform Hill House at 6.2 miles away. Platform Habitat at 9.41 miles away. The horizon is beyond 9.41 miles away. We conservatively say 10 miles. Any problems up to this point?
I don't know. Something seems fishy. How tall are these platforms?
Don't worry about it. That's not part of the argument. So
I mean,
the,
it really
enti- the entire argument is based on where the horizon is. So what I'm going to do now, 1 second. I'm going to stop screen sharing. I don't want to disconnect. I want to stop screen sharing. What I'm going to do is, somebody already posted the argument a couple times. I'm going to do it again. I just wanted to show you the parent video, so there would be no question on his observer height. Please don't post in the arena text right now for 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So can I direct your attention to 26 minutes after the hour? This is the argument. I say again, if P, this is a modus tollens, if P, then Q, not Q, therefore not P. So the argument, if the Earth is a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles, P, then every horizon distance measurement must be no more than 1.225 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. That's the geometric horizon. Not Q, the horizon distance is greater than 9.41 miles. We'll get to that in a second again. Therefore, not P, the Earth is not a sphere. Is there any problems that you can see with the formal argument, modus tollens?
argument's fine, but something's still fishy.
All right, hold on a second. So we'll go down to the evidence. It says bye-bye ball on it. What I did was I took a still off the video. I color contrasted to bring the horizon out a little bit further. Are you looking at that right now? It says bye-bye ball.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at that.
Yeah, it's got platform Hill House, the same platforms. Hill House, 6.21 miles. Platform Habitat, 9.41 miles. The observer height is 1 foot. The max distance to the geometric horizon is 1.22 miles. Where is the horizon at in this photo? Is it behind the second platform?
That's what's fishy.
Really? Well, the horizon is either behind that platform, the second platform, or it's not.
Can you state what's fishy about it? Because there's more than just this. This has been replicated a few times. It's fishy.
Just looks funky.
All right. Well, we're not into that. It looks funky because I color contrasted
Your
it a little bit.
scientific opinion.
Yeah, I
I'm
color
an ethics
contrasted.
Hey.
I color contrasted it, so, like I said, so I could bring it out. The platforms are only used in this specific instance to demarcate distance. Platform.
Well, at the end of the day, the thing is, this is how his mind's working. I'm pretty sure he's thinking, well, I know it's a globe, so there's got to be something wrong with this picture. Rather than thinking there's something wrong with the picture, he isn't thinking maybe we've been lied to, and that's the point that you need to consider.
So what my point is that the geometric horizon should be at 1.22 miles. How in the world is that horizon greater than? It's greater than 10 times. It's greater than 10 miles. But we'll just go with 10 miles. So using Pythagorean formula with the observer's height at 1 foot and the horizon at 10 miles, which is really conservative, you know what the radius of the Earth would be? $264,000 miles. That's the end of my argument.
Silly
Question
Smiles.
from- Go
Silly
ahead.
Smiles. How many horizons do you see on that picture? Hello? Is this thing on?
Yeah, it's on.
Give him,
How many
give him
horizons?
some
I
time.
see
Give him
one
some time,
horizon.
man.
I'm just not convinced.
Now, give him some time, man. I want you to think about what's happening here. Take your time. There was a lot of information put out to you. If you haven't seen the argument, I got it. I understand. You know, it's a little bit much. I'd be willing just to have you take your time and go through it maybe on your own a few times. Don't make any conclusions right now because you're gonna make yourself look like an ass. I don't want you to do that.
Maybe you should tell them the size of the if the Earth was a ball, the size it would match this horizon distance.
I did 264,000 mile
I
radius.
mean, no, the horizon should be about 2.5 miles out, and at observer height
No,
of 1
no,
foot.
no. 1.22 miles.
1 mile out. Fucking hell. Yeah, so I thought it was 2 miles, but yeah, you can only see 1.5 miles basically, or something, or just less, 1.25.
How did I get that? I got it from the.
You do 1.225 times the square root of the observer
Yeah.
plane.
It's just basic geometry. However, if you need citation sources for that, I have no problem with that. There it is at 32 minutes after the hour from the subject matter expert, Andrew Thomas Young, San Diego State University. And just in case people think he might be this is just basic geometry anyway. From Washington State, they say the same thing. And any Earth curve calculator uses the same formula for horizon distance. So you'll get the same numbers if you plug in the observer's height. You'll get the same distance.
Yeah, the numbers are right for that, for sure.
Yep.
If it don't fit, you need to quit.
Like I said, it's the first time he's seen it. I'm not gonna. We gave him a lot of information here. I just.
But what about refraction? What about refraction and all that?
What
No,
refraction?
Don't set him up because it's going to be a hard fall. Please.
This guy's smart enough. He'll go do his own homework.
He's been pretty amicable. I don't want you to set him up with anything. Let him deal with the argument. He can always come back. Let's exercise some patience and be a little measured here.
He's intelligent. You can tell. He's going to go do his research. He'll figure it out. We don't need to force nothing.
No, of course he's intelligent. He's a software engineer.
No, you can tell he's intelligent by the way he handles himself. Come on, man.
Yep. He's measured. I can already tell. Just he's not trying to overtalk. He's not interrupting.
Yep.
It's a lot. Like I said, it's not a ton of information, but there's some specifics here that he has to deal with. So that's all I got for you, Silly. I would suggest another name, by the way.
Why? What's wrong with this one?
It's silly.
It's silly.
Yeah.
I know. That's why I picked it.
Fair enough.
So,
better than QE.
Anyone else want to ask him questions? Go ahead. That's the end of my argument, sir. Thanks for your patience, being cordial.
Yeah, sure. Interesting.
I just want to know because I'm a software engineer as well. So, but what language you use with writing? I mean, this is non-flat Earth related. Just want to know what language you use to write the software on the MiGs, or what was it?
Well, it's the F-16. I don't write software for it anymore. I left the Air Force. The fire control computer used a mix of Jovial and C++. Jovial you've probably never heard of. It existed on space shuttle F-16s and some satellites, and Google even shows it as a dead language, which I wish it would be. the Iggy, the navigation system, used Ada, and most of the other systems used a mix of Jovial and C and C++.
So what do you think about this information that was told to you just recently? Is it pretty compelling?
You said the F-16, right?
Yeah, it was the F-16. Information, I mean, the stuff you said is right. I'm a little skeptical of the video. It looks like it's from higher than what you claim it to be. And I know it showed video of it at 1 foot.
Okay.
Something, it just doesn't look right to me. It doesn't look natural. I'm gonna have to look at it more closely.
Yeah, you should definitely give. Well, if anybody.
Hey, I posted 3 replications of that in the chat, by the way.
Shit.
Okay, I'll look.
And there's the guy's channel on the BMLS. He definitely looked through all his.
Oh, here's another thing. About a week ago, F-16 pilot sent a thing to a YouTuber about his radar system.
I'm very familiar with the radar system on that. What did he say?
Okay, so basically it's this. The max range is 80 miles.
I can't talk ranges.
Here we go. Are you glad it puts part 2?
I just don't want to.
Inside joke. Can't talk ranges? Like, why not?
Those are classified.
Well, how come he could talk about it?
Good fucking question.
It's interesting though. Why would they classify?
He said he could talk about the minimum. He didn't talk about the maximum range. He says it's a minimum of 35. That's all he can tell you. So the range is a minimum. He said not the maximum or what it's actually capable. Well, the minimum is all.
I know too many numbers to even try to keep track of what's what, so I don't talk ranges.
I got that range from 2 sources. One from the missile instructor, and one from that document they married up with each other. He said he couldn't go into any more than that, but I didn't need any more than that.
Okay.
That's just an ancillary, secondary argument. I love the argument because I had it for a long time, but the main argument is the black swan.
But this is how they want to hide from the.
So why did you come in here saying you know the Earth's a globe because of your programming, but you can't talk about any of it?
No, I said it was the symbology. It wouldn't be over the target if we weren't using round Earth calculations.
Okay, but do you have no way to even why that is? Like what calculation you're actually doing, or any details about what's being done?
Well, when we're displaying symbology on the HUD, we give it, the angles to display it at. And I mean, if we use flat Earth calculations, which is what we did in the past, because weapons on the F-16 weren't that long range, and we didn't have much processing power, so a lot of it originally was flat Earth. But we got faster systems and different weapons, and so we had to migrate everything over to round Earth or WGS 84 calculations to get things to line up better.
Boy. Okay. What do you think the drop is in 80 miles?
It's not
So
a
if
lot.
I'm at 50,000, a lot, quite a bit, as a matter of fact. You're like,
Depends on your altitude.
So say you're at 40,000 feet and there's another plane 80 miles away at 40,000 feet. How much below your eye level is it?
I'd have to do the calculations. It's been 2 years since I've worked on this specific thing. I work on something else now. But it definitely wouldn't be straight on.
Yeah. Well, according to the globe calculation, it's definitely not straight on.
Well, that's for sure, and that's why we had to use ground Earth stuff.
Oh. I don't know how far I want to probe this if I'm going to hit a brick wall. Or you can't tell me.
The question is if they ever actually used his shit or if it was just, you know.
Oh, they're flying it. They've used it. Videos of ISIS blowing up.
How do you know that?
Huh?
How do you know that?
I've seen videos.
Videos of what?
Of bombs blowing up ISIS or somebody else. I don't know, but they said it was ISIS.
So somebody showed you a video of a bomb exploding, and that means you know that your programming was used.
Hold on. You're talking about ground targets?
Well, F-16 does both, yeah.
It's so... trying to get this. Okay. So the symbology. You're targeting what? Air targets or ground targets?
Both.
Well, okay, so... well, calculated... I'm trying to figure out why we need to do that because, okay, so... something at 50,000 feet is at 50,000 feet, right? So assuming that the missile thinks it's at 50,000 feet, why wouldn't it just use the elevation?
Somebody's passing you a latitude, longitude, and elevation, and you're trying to display on your HUD the symbology over that target, right? You've got to convert that lat-long elevation into coordinates relative to the jet. And if you're not doing ground Earth calculations to do that conversion, you're going to end up with symbology not over the target.
Makes no sense to me, quite honestly. Right, so the only thing that would be screwed up on a round Earth versus a flat Earth would be the orientation of the plane when the missile was launched. When the missile launches, it's going to, okay, the distance, okay, you can infer the distance from the lat-long coordinates, right? But the elevation is independent of that, and that's probably measured with air pressure or something like that, maybe radar. Right, so you don't need any globe Earth, round Earth, anything because you're just going your elevation above the ground.
No, if you get a lat-long elevation from some other platform saying, hey, we've got a target at this latitude, this longitude, and this elevation, and you know your latitude, longitude, and elevation, you can calculate where it is relative to the jet. And it's not, you can't use flat Earth calculations to figure that out.
Where in what in like where it is in what sense?
XYZ feet, you know, in the X
Cartesian.
Yeah. Convert
Earth center, Earth fixed.
Then from there, from Cartesian, you can convert it to the angles you need to display symbology over the target.
So you start at Earth centered, Earth fixed, with a tangent plane in XYZ coordinates.
Yeah, I mean, you're starting with lat-long elevation, you know where you are, you know where it's supposed to be. And then you got to figure out relative to the jet, to the HUD, you know, where in Cartesian coordinates it is, so that you can then just get those angles.
Okay. So what do you do after that? Like, okay. Do
Well,
you
listen,
like,
why would you need to do that if you're using elevation?
Well, it's elevation at that point and latitude. I mean, we could DTED, you know, use DTED to figure out elevation.
Because 50,000 feet is 50,000 feet in elevation, ground Earth or flat Earth. That doesn't matter.
Well, it's elevation
So
above.
the only difference is the orientation of the plane, eye level. If say you fed, you know, this thing straight ahead, right? But your eye level is higher than what it would supposed to be like on a flat Earth, right? It's below eye level. But the plane isn't. But the missile isn't using. You know, it wouldn't be going straight like that anyway.
This
Not
is
a laser.
Missile. This is just putting a target over. I mean, putting a symbol over the target on a heads-up display.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it, dude. I get like what you're trying to do. The target, yeah, you're trying to tell the pilot this target is here, and put the cursor or crosshair, whatever he uses the target, on the whatever he's trying to destroy. Right.
Right. And he said, like, you guys, like, you use Cartesian coordinates to determine that, right?
Yeah, I mean, you get the Cartesian coordinates, and then you use directional cosines to get the angles. So you can say angle relative to, we call it the aircraft coordinate system, which is, God, it's been 2 years. It's as if
it's called what? I'll study
ground. You know, there's
right, because Cartesian is all 90-degree based, right? All three axes are normal to each other, so it's and like.
I think they call it body fixed. I think they call it body fixed when the coordinate system is centered on the aircraft.
Yeah, body and aircraft are the same. Yeah, we had to use that terminology for the helmet.
So, like, the curve of the ball Earth calculations, where do they come in? Like, if you could just give me a basic rundown.
There's calculations for, your.
For what exactly?
Some really crazy algorithms for converting lat long elevation coordinates into the Cartesian XYZ, relative to your jet. I forget exactly what they are. We had them just kind of built in for simple conversion.
Okay. Those will be interesting to look at, but it's too much math for me right now. But what I'm trying to understand is okay, you're saying you're using Cartesian, and Cartesian is 90 degrees. If stuff is on the ground, or I'm not sure, or I'm just trying to map it out in 3D right in my head. So if you give me a polar, or what would you use on a sphere? Spherical coordinate system, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
right? I don't know. Yeah. But I'm just the mapping, right? If I was to give you 2 points, on a Cartesian plane or whatever, I'll give the XYZ and XYZ, and they're it's flat, right? In your imagination, or in math, you know what I mean? It's not like a curved Cartesian system, you know what I mean? The plane is not.
So something else is confusing me is that the radar refraction equation, 4/3 R. You just said they used a WGS 84. 4/3 R ball is 5,346 miles or something.
I don't know what you're asking me. WGS 84 is just
no. When they calculate the propagation path of radar, they assume that it takes a 4/3 radius arc. So 3,959 miles times 4/3, which is 5,278 miles radius. See, so back in the day when they did these extremely long radar and long distance over the horizon shit, and it's supposed to be the globe, they had to come up with a reason why this was happening. So when Marconi sent a radio transmission 10,000 miles in 1918, and it's supposed to be a globe, they had to come up with a reason. So the reason they came up with, it must be bouncing off of something, right? Now they have these over the horizon radar systems, like Jindalee, that they just built in Australia, right? So they get radar returns on aircraft in North Korea from Australia, just something like 4,000 kilometers, right? Which is supposed to be under the curvature of the Earth, 230 miles or something ridiculous like that. And they say this is possible because radar is refracted and it takes a curved path, right? And the arc of that path equals a radius of, 4/3.
Oh wow,
the radius of the Earth.
Interesting.
So when you say you use a WGS 84, your shit wouldn't have worked, dude.
Oh, it works.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait a second. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. WGS84 flattened ellipsoid. Somebody needs to contact NASA and redact every single CGI right now. Right? That's how easy to blow this shit up. That's how easy it is. It sounds juvenile, but it's not. Go ahead and redact all that CGI because that's not a flattened ellipsoid. No friggin' way.
I mean, the calculations work better than flat Earth.
Calculations work better in flat Earth. That doesn't make any damn sense. You're done with the black swan. I'm going to tell you right now. You're finished. So whatever else ancillary is background noise. I don't care about your calculations. I really don't.
All right.
They're backward engineered bullshit. I can say all right because I have the black swan. I got it right in the hopper. I got my feet kicked up. I got the stogie lit.
Set up around spherical Earth, right? I mean, that long, it's all spherical coordinates.
I got the stogie lit.
Not a fucking
coordinate systems are arbitrary.
Yep.
I mean,
Human
it's not
man-made
arbitrary,
convention.
it's angles in a sphere.
You're done with the black swan. You don't have a sphere.
Listen, can you use cylindrical coordinate systems and make it work?
Yep, polar, yep, polar coordinates, yeah, sure.
Universal transverse Mercator. They use for flight plans.
Yep.
Does that mean we go on a cylinder because they work?
Yeah, it has to, man. Yeah, dude. We're on a cylinder, man.
Yep. Cool, man.
Sometime you can make anything work.
So they're saying like, I'm sorry, Kiwi, go ahead, man.
No, go ahead, Cyrus.
You were just
Cyrus the Great, go ahead.
Cyrus the Great. Like the propagation of radar just follows like the curve of the Earth. How come like other RF doesn't do that? Like we know like the propagation of like antennas, like you can get some really thick books on that stuff. You know, like how antennas propagate like the field, like you know.
Hey, go ahead, let him respond, man.
Yeah, bro. I was asking India actually because India was bringing that up. I didn't know that. I didn't know they say that. Like, how come?
Silly, you want to?
How come radar goes around Earth? Yeah, and other
because
radio bounces
because
off
it's a
the
globe,
hemisphere.
so it has to be going around the
What
Earth.
the fuck? Okay, so does like other like whatever band, any other band does that, or just
Well,
radar?
it depends on how far it goes.
Gamma rays do it.
Yeah, so I don't know where you're getting that information that you think RF is.
4/3 are.
Earth, yeah,
That's commonly known, man.
I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, even Wikipedia knows about it somehow.
Oh wow, dang! Even Wiki.
Oh no, he's busted out Wiki on us.
I'll just read it. It says,
aircraft.
where should I start? With a standard atmosphere, electromagnetic waves generally bend or refract downward. This reduces the shadow zone, but causes errors in distance and height measuring. In practice, defined DH, which is the distance to the horizon, one must use a value of, got this on like 80% screen size. I can barely read it.
I'm glad, dude.
Are you serious? Mr. EDM?
Hey!
In practice, to find DH, one must be using a value of 4.5 to 10 to the third kilometers for the effective Earth's radius instead of the real one.
Uh-oh.
How far off is that? From
4/3 of it. That's what it says. I'll just
4/3.
post.
Yeah. Okay, 4/3 are, yeah.
I'll post what it says.
For
I
ground
just butchered reading it.
Is that for ground
see it.
systems?
Radar line of sight.
That's ground radar systems, right?
Oh, You just said they targeted to the ground, right? What's
No,
the difference?
The radar is sitting on the ground, right?
Yeah, typically.
Well, not typically. I'm used to them flying around.
Yeah, but they're ground targets, right? So the radar has to go to the ground. What's the difference between it going from the ground to the air or from the air to the ground? It's practically no distance, no difference.
I'm saying the radar is sitting on the ground. That this
The
radar
source is irrelevant. Whether the source, because the path is the same.
In the way, you're going to have a shadow. So if it's sitting on the ground, the Earth can be in the way.
Listen, that wasn't the point. You said you used the WGS-84, which is absolute horse shit.
WGS-84 has nothing to do with radar. It's a model of.
You said that you used that to find the coordinate system target, right? That you converted it from the WGS-84 coordinate system, turned it into ECEF coordinates, and then got the targeting from that. But you can't use that radius of an Earth. You have to use a larger one because the path is not the same.
So are you saying? So is the Earth flat?
The distances would be wrong.
What are you arguing here?
I'm arguing you're full of shit.
Yeah.
So what you're talking about here with
the you inflated tires on an F-16. That's what I think.
Is a ground-based radar. All right. If you don't want to have a serious talk, you can just sit there and be an asshole.
I'm not being an asshole, dude. Listen, you came in and says this is my proof, and you can't get into any details of what your proof is or what you think.
It was proof. Somebody asked me why I believe the Earth is round, and that's why I said I believe it. I didn't say it was proof. I didn't say that it was good enough for you guys to take as proof.
Okay. What about those complex algorithms? You said
just the WGS-84 algorithms. Should be able to
listen, let me tell you where I'm coming from. There's a guy that comes in here named Platypus. He worked on a nuclear submarine. Whenever we probe him, he'll make all these claims about what the sub would do. He was a periscope operator. So he would make all these claims about what he could see and what the ship did, but it's immediately probed. He would say, that's classified. I can't talk about it. He would make all these claims. Right? And you're kind of like in the same boat as him right now.
Very simple navigation type stuff and coordinate conversions and things like that. These days, I'm just working on middleware software, so not even touching this stuff anymore.
Okay, duly noted. So, what do you think about, like I said, in 1918 during World War I, Marconi was sending radio signals 10,000 miles from Cornwall, UK to Sydney, Australia.
I know nothing about it.
Do you think that seems feasible on a globe, considering that the globe is only miles in circumference?
I know RF likes to bounce off things. I do know that.
You said, bro, it refracts with the Earth, right? There you go. It bent around and it reached Australia. What do you mean, India?
Bent around. It went to the bottom of the ball from the top of the ball. It went from the North Pole to the South Pole, and they just picked it up.
Gravity kept it in place, man. It's just the bungee, right? It gets just bungeed it to the right place.
All right, that's getting a little silly. No pun intended.
Got a million of them.
RF definitely likes bouncing off shit.
I think, yeah. What's it bouncing off?
Oh, it'll bounce off clouds. It'll do all kinds of shit.
What happens when it continues to bounce off of two curves? You ever hear of like a curved waveguide? Yeah, me neither. They don't exist because they wouldn't work, right? Because the inner radius and the outer radius are not the same, right? So what you have every time it bounced off the inner radius, that angle would get steeper and steeper and steeper, right? Because the angle of incidence equals the angle of reflection. So the angle of reflection off of the inner versus outer radius are not the same. So you get a continuously changing angle. Eventually the angle will be parallel to the surface. It'll be a tangent line. And then it would go off into space and never come back.
Okay.
So the bouncing radar around a ball is kind of it's a cool story. So that's about
I
it.
can't discount it entirely. I know RF bounces off shit. I don't know the details, but that's all I know.
You better look out, man, when you come in here. These flat earthers are certifiable, dude. I mean, they're packing.
Yeah, they've done a lot of research, I can tell. And
they're fucking packing, dude. But,
Hey, I
but
just
cool,
got
but
back.
cool. Listen, you've been cordial. You've been measured. Maybe some heated things going on and off, but overall, I just like you to take a look at it. I'm gonna be selfish and take a look at the Black Swan because all this stuff is really good to hear, and I really enjoy listening to it. But when the dust settles, fucking Black Swan, man, it's over.
So hey, I'd like you to take a look at this if you ever get a chance. What this guy said about the F-16 radar system. Now he could be full of shit. I don't know. I don't know the guy, but
I don't know.
if you evaluate that for us and tell us if he is full of shit and just a fucking LARPer trained on flat earthers.
One problem the F-16 pilots had was line of sight. You get too far away, and all of a sudden the jet is not in line of sight anymore. They're VHF. So getting out of line of sight communications was an issue.
Yep, for sure. I'd be interested in that too if he was full of shit. The F-16. I don't really need him. Like I said, I got the Black Swan. My feet are up and the stogie's lit. But I'd be interested in your take on that F-16 pilot.
Well, I mean, if he was real familiar with the code for a long time, it was all flat Earth calculations. So
yeah, he was back in the day with you, man.
Okay, but I mean, it works in a small confined kind of area, but as it extends out, it just doesn't work.
I don't care about the flat Earth calculations because the horizon extends out in the Black Swan and it fucking doesn't work with the sphere. It's dead.
Can you tell me like how far out like the old flat Earth calculation work? Like what's the range on that? Do you know?
Well, it was the range of the bombs we were using. So for JDAMs, it was something like 8 miles that they cared about. But when you added small diameter bombs, which is a range I can't talk about, but it was a lot further. It became an issue.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
I just like to give you props because the Air Force always had better chow. So we used to go out of our way to the Air Force bases, man, because of the chow. I just like to give you a thumbs up. Thanks.
Nice. Well, I wasn't in the Air Force. I was a civilian engineer, but thank you. I have a lot of friends in the Air Force.
Oh, so you're just a fucking civilian puke?
Mm-hmm.
Civilian? No, I wasn't a contractor. I worked
no, I'm just messing with you, man. I thought you said you were Air Force. I heard it.
Well,
I was in and out.
That's what I thought. I assumed that too, man. I assumed that too.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of engineers that were in the Air Force, but so many of us were contractors. I mean, I worked at Hill Air Force Base, and that was like 3,000 Hill Air Force Base in Utah.
In Utah, okay.
So that was 20,000 civilians and 3,000 Air Force on that base.
Right. Yeah. I know what you're talking about, man. Yeah, gotcha.
And we all matter, right?
Yes, you do.
They always said that. So we'd stop ourselves.
Well, you did. I mean, civilian contractors, man, couldn't have done without them. No doubt about it.
Anyway, I got to go. I'll look at this stuff. It was nice talking to you.
Hey, yeah. Come on back in, man. Anytime. Just come back in. Are you a gladiator? Yes, you are. Just come back in, man. Good to go.
All right, we'll do. Have a good night.
Yep. You too.
You too, man. See ya.